We have spoken a lot about consent. Huge playlist, a lot of topics on consent. Why? Because consent is the most important part of privacy. But there is some part which is called shadow consent. Let's discuss about that in this video. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on privacy. And as I said, let's talk about the shadow consent in this video and how we are getting misled with the shadow consent concept. What is shadow consent? Shadow consent is that when it appears that you have given a valid consent, but it is not considered a valid consent. Interesting. Okay. What examples are there? You give a single consent for multiple purposes, which means that on the form it explained you this purpose, this purpose, this purpose. Give me the data, give me the data, give me the data, give me the consent. Accept all kind of a button and you click accept all. That's not a valid consent as per the privacy regulations. The design of the form is such that you yourself don't realize that you're giving accept all type of a consent, right? And you end up giving more than one consent or consent for more than one purpose. Well, you're not given it freely. You just clicked it and accept all button and it picked up multiple. For example, checkboxes, they're all already selected and there's a accept all button or just accept button, but because they are all selected, they all go as a consent. So it's not freely given, it is not specific to the purpose, and it is not well informed. It's very common in applications that require access. Before you understand what they are talking of, you end up giving the consent. Common examples: mobile apps. Mobile apps do that, or app in one, the entire thing they'll ask you in one single button. Do you give me the consent? You say yes. There are pre-checked checkboxes, the thing that I discussed in the previous slide. There are no separate toggle feature buttons, right? There's one button. You click at one button, everything gets accepted. On the websites, the consent banners continue tracking you. You've given the consent, but they are still tracking you. And accept to proceed suddenly pops up without giving you a clear choice. And you have no option left but to accept to proceed. Why this is a problem? This is a problem because on the legal and regulatory items, this is an invalid consent. Why is this an invalid consent? A consent has to be free, specific, pre-informed. If you have 5 purposes and it's auto check marked, or you check mark all 5 of them, then only you get the accept button, or there are 5 items written and you have an accept all button, you don't get the choice to pick what all you want to give consent to, then it's an invalid consent. True risk from this kind of a consent collection: breaches can destroy reputation. Financial risk: cost of mitigation. You get into issues, there's mitigation, which is satisfying the principle, and then the litigation, which is satisfying the legal judiciary system. Ethical risk: it exploits users' ignorance or his fatigue, right? Ignorantly he did that, and then you are indirectly asking him to be very careful working with you again. What about DPDP Act? What does that say about consent? That says consent should be free, informed, specific, unambiguous. No doubt about it. You want me to give you my personal information for a purpose? Ask it from me. Free, I'll give it to you freely, provided I know the purpose. I am well informed about the purpose and the way you are going to process the information. It's very, very specific thing that you are asking me, and there's no ambiguity around it. It can be bundled sometimes. Hidden consents are there. Like we said, deceptive user interface, and you end up choosing everything. So these kind of consents are non-compliant, and consents as per DPDP Act, consent managers are expected to improve transparency. Perhaps that's the reason why DPDP Act is saying that the Data Protection Board of India will register consent managers with them before letting consent managers work in the market for the fiduciaries. What about some of the best practices to avoid a shadow consent? Ask only for necessary data. Give them granular choice. You can have just-in-time prompts. You open up camera and you get a screen that tells one purpose and accept, right? Does not mean that because you are giving a just-in-time prompt, you can have multiple purposes there. A separate consent for each separate purpose. Keep the user interface simple. Provide easy withdrawal options. Very important. Consent can be withdrawn. Options have to be clear. Audit third party SDKs, which is the software development kit, when you are using a third party app for data collection. Audit them to ensure that they are collecting data properly on your behalf. So that's about the shadow consent. It is, again, it's a part of consent and is very risky, because this is when the consent is taken in the illegal manner or invalid manner, and you as a user need to be very careful about it. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my channel, and share your feedback in the comment section.